Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Excuse me for doing Shibboleth dirty today. I'm doing Shibboleth dirty. There's two versions of Shibboleth with approved foods. There's Shibboleth dirty and Shibboleth clean. Which way are you doing Shibboleth today? I'm doing it dirty today. Good day, everybody. It's okay to do it dirty sometime, you know? Dirty for April, it's all right. Clean for Joseph, outstanding. I do that. I probably do Shibboleth clean 3 or 4 days a week, and the other days I do it dirty. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to our beautiful, beautiful group and our beautiful, beautiful class. We are not on the Facebook page. If you run into anybody that's looking for us on Facebook, we are beginning to change directions. We will not be teaching classes on Facebook pages anymore. We're hoping that by only simulcasting these classes into the members only group, that we'll get less reports against us. If we get many more reports, we're going to be banned from Facebook. So make sure that you're on our notification system. If you're not going to get text notifications, make sure you always check your spam folders, or I won't have any way to connect with you, and I'll be out of sight, out of mind. And weight loss is very much about you being immersed in what we're doing. See, stay with me as I try to explain something that's very important, that if you were a wellness coach and going through how to be a wellness coach, you would find out real fast, quick, and in a hurry what you are up against as a weight loss and wellness coach. I cannot compete with the noise outside of our class. You are inundated every day with new fads, new pills, new potions, new gimmicks, new clickbait, ever ending. And most of which is just trying to get in your pocketbook, does not care about you. And those voices are a lot louder than my voice. There's no way that I can compete with the influences that you have in your life outside of class. So as Facebook and social media begins to, or they continue to do what they've done for years algorithmically, and now with artificial intelligence, they're going to get rid of small business, especially like ours. So just know, have it written somewhere, check in with Travis, because I don't want to lose you. I want you to keep doing good. Here's what I love, though, and why I'm not frightened. The Bible says that you might hear the thunder, you might see the lightning, you might feel the earthquake. But what you'll respond to is none of those things. You'll respond to a still small voice. So not that my voice is still and small, but those days that the Lord gets a hold of you and gets a hold of me, you will hear what thus saith the Spirit of God. So keep coming to class. It's very important. We talked about that yesterday. Won't bore you with that again today. But class attendance and journaling are the two primary indicators we see on the back end that equals success. We have no new partners today. We have weekly weight loss of 356 pounds. We'd like to see that get back up there. I think people are probably waiting on a new challenge. And at some point, I think the challenge should be, hey, how about this? How about let's do the Shibboleth lifestyle as a challenge? Wouldn't that be cool? To just take the program that's practical, sustainable, and fun, and just do it, and do it like a challenge. There's so much variety. And in fact, when we launch a challenge, if you've noticed, when I give a limited meal plan, what does everybody want? Everybody wants what? They want more variety. Shibboleth has plenty of variety on it. We've got to get these numbers up, home team. We got to get them up. 5 fast track badges earned, still 40-something thousand people have not earned their fast track badge. And that's where the results come from. Very few badges earned. We did have one 10-pound badge earner, and way to go, Catherine Cross. Must be something going on out there. Maybe what's going on is just the culture. I don't know. I'm glad to be an uncommon people, a part of an uncommon program, and I hope you feel that way too. Today is Wednesday, and here is our badge and shirt that's up for grabs today. Busy as a beach, steady as a clock. Steady as a clock is Wednesday's shirt. We will be getting out of the shirt business. Yep. Here's another thing the Lord led me to do. What are you doing to me, God? What are you doing? I know that I was led to do this, but they're just sitting in inventory. These are exclusive shirts that you get for having a full month of Perfect Wednesdays. So if you see somebody wearing this shirt, either they earned it or somebody gave it away. Shame on you for giving away an exclusive shirt that you earned. You just can't buy these. You got to earn them. So this is our Wednesday shirt. If you don't want the shirt, you get the badge. You get your digital badge, your Steady as a Clock badge, for having a full month of Perfect Wednesdays. So way to go, Janice. Janice earned hers today. And they get harder, right? Friday and Saturday are the two hardest days. We got a lot of those shirts because very few people ever earn their Friday and Saturday badge. Why do you think that is? Rhetorical question there. Why do you think that is? You've got a journal to earn those shirts, true. And then Friday and Saturday seems to be the toughest days for people to have perfect days. You know, at some point, the way you can overcome that, because what's happening, the reasons on Fridays and Saturdays that people tend to have more holidays. Sundays is a big one too, but they feel like they're missing out on something. If they don't eat, they don't have their hog trough days, they feel like they're missing out on something. But really, if you'll start changing how you talk to yourself, been there, done that. I mean, how many weekends last year did you have perfect weekends last year? You made it through a whole weekend perfect. How many out of 52 weekends? Just guess. How many do you think that you had perfect through a weekend? Paulette said maybe one. Wouldn't it be a novel idea to have more perfect weekends so that when you did earn the right to have a real hog trough weekend, you could do that? Think about all this. I'm trying to do what Solid Gold's trying to do at night. Solid Gold, pleasure. I'm trying to teach you more pleasure. Now, how do I know you'll have more pleasure? Because I've been there. I mean, I ate until there wasn't even pleasure in it anymore. I was just doing it out of habit. So being a person of perseverance and taking some weekends off and having perfect days will restore your enjoyment of your weekends. Actually, was anybody here last night and see the monthly, or maybe you didn't see it, monthly streak calendar, the habit changer form? We come up with a fantastic challenge last night. I highly recommend that if you weren't there last night, that you check out Shibboleth Reloaded's recording and consider doing that as a challenge. It's a challenge about having perfect days and the fruit of the Spirit. Live fruit of the Spirit. I think that can be really life-changing for some people who need to modify their behaviors, because we all get up filled with anxiety. Not all, but I'm very hyperbolic in how I speak. But we get up and we're filled with anxiety and worry and stress. And really what we're supposed to be doing is keeping our eyes, our spiritual eyes especially, fixated on whatever's good, whatever's honorable, whatever's lovely, really settling in and living out the fruit of the Spirit. And I believe we would all become more well people if we would do that. I want to give you this thought while you begin to ask your questions. Please click the Q&A button and ask your question. This session that I do Monday through Friday is meant to help you personalize your program. So you're going through Fast Track, you're watching the Fast Track videos, take tests, pass tests to earn the Fast Track badge. And then when you come to class, we can begin to personalize because you'll have a basic understanding. So in order for me to personalize someone's program, they have to have a basic understanding of our program. And you do that through Fast Track. So click that Q&A button, start asking your questions. I want to leave you with this thought. A double-minded person is unstable in all of their ways. And I'm not trying to shun or shame. I want to talk to you about all of us. We can tend to be double-minded. And of course we're going to be double-minded because you've got the spirit at war with the flesh. Those two things, they work against each other unless they come in alignment. Have you ever been at a business where there were too many chiefs and not enough Indians, so to speak? Have you ever been there? Like everybody's the boss, so there's no boss. Everybody's a boss, so there's no boss. So how we run our life, I want you to consider looking at running your temple kind of like you would run a successful business. You take inventory, journal. We talked about all that yesterday. But also, you got to have somebody that's the boss. Now, who's most qualified to be the boss of your life today? Your spirit that takes its direction from the Holy Spirit, or your flesh? Rhetorical questions, but to get us to think, because this is what you're up against. If you get up every day and you try to serve God and mammon, what happens? There's conflict all day, isn't there? There's conflict the entire day. Let me show you this. I love this illustration. It helped me once upon a time. I'm not going to do the best job at drawing it, but let's do this. I'm going to draw a line right here, and we'll do this quicker than I normally do it. I want to give you ways to think about this. In your journal, you'll see that there's a motivation level. If you use that on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being I can whip a bear with a switch today, 1 being I feel like a dead person. What's your motivation today on a scale of 1 to 10? April says 8. Your motivation to eat right, eat healthy. Janice is a 10. Stacy's a 10. Got some 10s coming. Awesome. I love it. This is why this group, oftentimes I beat myself up after I leave this group because I'm fussing at y'all like you're the ones who aren't coming to class. Do y'all ever get mad at me for that? Tell the truth. The Holy Spirit kind of spoke to me before class and said, you tend to get on to the faithful like they're the ones not coming. Y'all are doing great. And here's why you do so great. Most of y'all have a high level of motivation. I see a couple of 8s, which isn't bad. Mostly 10s. So over here on the weight loss, y'all are somewhere between an 8 and a 10. Okay, I've seen folks come in and say, I'm a 1, I'm a 2, I'm a 3. 5 would be lukewarm. 5 is lukewarm inspiration. Right now, if with your motivation being an 8 to 10, if you went and got on the scales right now and you've been doing good today, and all of a sudden the scales were up. You haven't had anything to eat, and they were up 2 pounds. How down would your motivation go? 1 point, 2 points, 3 points? Where would it go? Awesome. Some of y'all saying none. Boy, this is going to be a good group. Stays the same. Awesome. So over here, this is why this is a great group. Over here, we've got these comfort foods that we eat. So right now, if I put a Cinnabon cinnamon roll under your nose with all the icing over it, it's fresh and it's hot, on a scale of 1 to 10, desire meter, what's your desire for that? 0 or 1, man, this group's on fire. So check this out. Let's say on an average, y'all only want it at a 3. So look at this. Your desire to lose weight and be healthy is a lot greater than this. Your desire for that is pretty low. This means you are on the right mental track. Now just maintain it. You're on the right mental track. Nothing can defeat you. Nothing can stop you. Your spirit is at war with your flesh. And who have you put in charge? Hey, Sherry Ditto, who have you put in charge? Your spirit is the boss. Now, those days that you feel the opposite, your weight loss is somewhere between a 0 and 7, but your desire for food is at a 10. Let's do this. This is it really bad. Let's say that your weight loss desire, wellness desire is 7, your food desire, comfort food desire is a 10. This is a bloodbath. This makes for Hades. It would be better that you had no desire for weight loss and a 10 for food so that at least you knew what the heck was going on. But when you've got some motivation for weight loss and a lot of desire for food, it is a bloodbath daily. So it's very important that you renew your spirit every day and you work on keeping that desire for wellness at a 10. So that when you get those tempting foods, it's like, been there, done that. If y'all are with me in the worm lesson, maybe you could even visualize yucky, crawly worms with slime on them going through your cinnamon roll. You know, I do stuff like that all the time, and it works. It sounds silly, but it really, really works. We've got to keep our desire for comfort foods low and our desire for weight loss and wellness and pleasing God high. And it makes all the difference in the world. And you've got to attend to that. You've got to attend to what's going on in your heart every single morning and probably very often throughout the day, or you'll be double-minded. A double-minded person is unstable in all their ways. What does that look like? So let's say that I'm at work today and I have intentions of having a perfect day. And I bring a sandwich with me. Say it's Wednesday, I bring an approved sandwich with me. I had a cup of coffee this morning and have my approved sandwich. Tonight, the hubby and I, or the wife and I, we're going to have some Shibboleth approved unstuffed cabbage rolls. That's the plan. But you go to church, and then after church, somebody says, "Listen, hey, y'all want to run over to Los Reyes, the Mexican restaurant, and get something there?" And you go, "Yeah, we'll go," but you're not committed to going in there and ordering Shibboleth approved foods. They bring those chips out. What happens? Hey, Celia, good to have you back. What happens? You rationalize, you justify, you do exactly what Pharaoh did. I'll spend one more night with the frogs, then I'll let the people go. I'll start over on Monday. So this is so much a mindset thing. I wouldn't perform well had I not got up this morning. So this morning, the alarm clock goes off at 4:30 a.m. I get up, I get my ghee, I get my stuff, I come downstairs, I get my Bible out, got a few minutes before I have to leave. I take my Bible out, and in my Bible is my vision tracker. Now in my Bible is that form we all did last night, the habit changer form, because I tried to be vulnerable and share with you, I'm dealing with a little negativity. My flesh is dealing with a little negativity. So I've got the fruit of the Spirit. I've got my habit tracker. And I was like, okay, here's what I'm going to do today. It didn't take long. Here's what I'm going to do today. Let me look at my meals again from yesterday. It was all delicious stuff. Let me look at my body as today as it looks compared to when I was 300 pounds. Oh, yeah, I'm doing good. And then today, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have my Health-Wise hot chocolate and cocoa ringo 1 to 2 times. If I get hungry between then and the end of the day, I might have some high-protein soup, but I'm going to try not to do that. And then for dinner, Sasha's going to make us some spaghetti. So how'd I do? I did great, but I have a why. I have a why that's greater than my temptation. That didn't take long. And I would say before I started all that, I would say my motivation level was a 7. But after I got done with that, my motivation level was a 10. Does that make sense, everyone? If you're struggling, it's because you're missing those little details, those little nuances. You're not quite going the extra mile yet. You still most probably still think that weight loss and wellness is about the food that you're eating only. If I eat good food and I don't eat too much, I'm going to lose weight. It's much deeper than that, or you would have already lost weight and kept it off. It's that mindset part, eating with awareness, not just awareness of what you're eating and how it breaks down in your body, but awareness of where you want to go. You all need to call forth and forward the things that are not as though they are right now. So when I was 300 pounds, that looked like me saying, I am 10% body fat. I wasn't. I was 44% body fat. I am in a size 32 pant. I wasn't. I was in a size 44. Don't say I'm going to get in a size whatever. Don't say I am going to weigh whatever. Say I do. I already am there. And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And you say, well, it's hard for me to do that, Travis. I feel like I'm lying to myself. You're not lying to yourself. In fact, God already sees you based upon your highest and best potential. The problem is you're looking in the mirror and you're judging yourself based upon what you see in the mirror. God's not. God's already judging you based upon your highest and best that's in Christ. So go on and start living it today. Certainly will the world around you remind you that you're not yet at your goal? Absolutely. Their opinion is none of your business. People's opinions, none of your business, only God's. And then if you just start living like you're already where you want to be, and like you're already maintaining where you want to be, if you just start living like that and quit worrying about the result and enjoy the process, with a little passage of time, you wake up one day and you're shouting the victory. All right, I'm going to answer some questions. Joni, does this program help people with severe hormone imbalance and hypothyroid issues? Does it address cortisol belly? Our program addresses all of that. We could sit here and have an hours-long discussion about that. But why? Why would we do that? Why not just trust the Shibboleth Shield, give it 6 weeks, and then take a look at where you are? Now, I'm not talking about doing Shibboleth in a lukewarm way. I'm talking about doing the most optimal version of Shibboleth. And you're talking about change that is incomprehensible in 6 weeks or less. So it addresses all that. I feel so bad for people who have been told they're going to always be a person with high blood pressure because of their hormone imbalances and thyroid issues. They're never going to be able to lose weight. Check this out. When we're talking about hormones, the most powerful hormone in the human body is insulin. What do you think? If insulin is not regulated, and most people that come to our program, it's not, when growth hormone, insulin is growth hormone and destroys cellular mitochondria and integrity, and it's so powerful. It drives appetite up, stores fat, stops efficient fat burning. So what happens when we regulate insulin? Would we be able to reach a state of homeostasis with more ease? Absolutely. So the whole program, I think the biggest problem with Shibboleth is it's too simple. If we would just live the Shibboleth shield, head down, enjoy the Shibboleth shield, our health would improve 100-fold over and over again every few weeks. It did for me. It has for everyone that abides by it. We don't need pills. We don't need potions. We don't need gimmicks. In fact, if you're on prescription medications, our program, our food combining, is so powerful, and the great physician uses that to heal us, is so powerful that you will have to work with your physician, because that physician will need to be taking you off meds quickly. Food combining is as powerful as a drug, and you're taking the drug too to manage diabetes. So just throwing out things here for you to think about. Work with your doctor, do what your doctor says, but there's nothing that can prevent you from losing weight if you have a system that accomplishes calorie deficit, insulin control, and adequate protein. And ours does that if you just follow the shield. But what about me? Now, I'm not talking about this person, Joni, but people ask every day, what about me? Aren't my circumstances special? You're special, but your circumstances aren't. Sorry. They've lied to you. Look, it's this simple. You go into GNC, you got a men's vitamin and a women's vitamin. If you look at the back, there may be a couple of differences in the ingredients. It's marketing. So all these things, well, if we've got this issue, and this is a special issue that you have, and it's preventing you from losing weight, so let's take this drug, or let's do this special program. You don't need any of that. You simply need calorie deficit, food combining for insulin control, and adequate protein. And everything in your life will improve. Now, if you have hormone imbalances from the onset, or hypothyroid issues, absolutely, you may lose weight a little slower than someone who doesn't have those issues. Then you get into the behavior modification aspect of it. Because what happens is you hear that and you go, see, I knew I wouldn't be able to lose weight. That's not what I said. Comparison is the thief of joy. If we don't compare ourselves to anybody, and we get up every day and we live the shield under the Lord, and we bless the name of the Lord for every ounce lost, instead of going, I'm so mad I only lost an ounce, God, the great physician, the Holy Spirit, will come and begin to mend that body. I believe it with all my heart. I've seen it happen thousands of times here. Janice, I earned my Wednesday badge for All Perfect Wednesdays in April. Congratulations. Charles, is sugar-free and fat-free Cool Whip equal? So I'm not really paying attention to whether it says sugar-free or fat-free. Don't try to read too much into that, okay? Because low-fat cottage cheese, it's better than fat-free cottage cheese, and low-fat's better than full-fat cottage cheese. We don't really go by the sugar. It just so happens that the nutritional profile on those two make them fairly equal. But if I'm picking one, I'm going with sugar-free. Sugar's the devil. Sugar and fat together is the devil and the devil's demons. Any other questions? How do we track hemp hearts on the journaling app for a meal? Hemp hearts are a category 6 superfood. Hemp flakes are category 1+2. Now, they also have their own category. When you're really trying to break through some plateaus, look in the red column of your food combination chart, and you'll see 1+ HHF or 7+ HHF. That's the best fat burning meal that you can come up with. But you can also use hemp hearts with as a category 6 superfood. So you could use it as a condiment on a whole food meal, a teaspoon, or you could use up to 3 tablespoons of hemp hearts in place of meat. Like if you want to have a vegan salad, you could take the chicken off and put 3 tablespoons of hemp hearts. If you've got a grilled chicken salad, you don't need to put 3 tablespoons of hemp hearts. Maybe a teaspoon as a condiment would be fine. Hemp flakes count as a 1+2. So if I have an egg whites and I put hemp flakes in my egg whites, I like to have an egg white omelet made with very sweet hemp flakes. And so my omelet is often just egg whites and hemp flakes. That's a 1+2. If I cook that in MCT oil, that offers me a red column combination. Great job, Stephanie. Thanks for sharing. Annette, God bless. Praying for you. Becky Wood says, I struggle with comparison. I just realize I'm different and we're all on the same journey. Some will get there faster. I agree with my sweet friend, but I semi-disagree. It's all relative. So if Becky, how tall are you? Five foot 4. So I'm 6'3". You're an ectomorph, meaning small bones. I'm a mesomorph, bigger bones. I have more lean tissue. So when I was 300 pounds, and let's say that you and I started our weight loss journey, and let's say that I lost 3 pounds and you lost 2.5 pounds, you've actually lost more weight than me from a percentage of body weight. If we do the very same things, yes, I'm going to lose more weight, but not necessarily more fat. So just remember, you're right to say it's about your journey. You're really just trying to do better than the person you were yesterday. And here's the trick. Here's the trap regarding weight loss. The closer you get to goal, the more it seems that the weight loss is slowing down. And we see a lot of people quit right before they cross the finish line. Like right now, I can't lose a pound a day. I've leaned out so much, I can't do it. It takes me 3 or 4 days to lose 1 pound. But when this 1 pound comes off my body, now this is how much space 1 pound of fat takes up on my body. So take Charles. Brother Charles might be here. Charles is a bigger man than me right now. Y'all with me? When Charles loses a pound, he's going to lose that pound. Like Charles, you lose it a lot faster than me right now, right? Charles loses weight faster than I do. He loses it slower than he did in the beginning. When I was 300 pounds, I could lose one of these almost daily. But this much space, this is a good teaching moment. This much space was coming off of a larger frame. It wasn't as noticeable. But now on my body, I have very little fat on my body, very little. So now if I lose 1 pound of fat, let's say it took me all week to lose 1 pound of fat. When I lose that 1 pound of fat, it's coming off of my waistline. It's coming off my thighs. So when I lose that 1 pound of fat, does it show up better now? Forget the number on the scale. Does it show up better now? Does it have more of a visually appealing look when I lose 1 pound now or when I was 300? So the journey, if you ask me, is right the opposite of what people say. They say it gets harder. It gets easier. The reward's better. It's sweeter. The victory's sweeter. When I started this darn journey, I had to lose 100 pounds to be comfortable in my clothes. Now I can lose 1 pound of fat and I'm ready to go to the beach. So the journey gets sweeter. It's all about how you think about it. Now, what the devil will do is twist the truth. You're losing weight slower. Well, that is the truth. But the devil didn't tell the entire story. The devil didn't say you're losing weight slower, but when you lose that, what if that voice in your head, instead of it saying you're losing weight slower now, what if that voice said, you may be losing weight slower, but that's a good sign because when you lose a pound now, girl, you looking fine. Devil don't say that, does the devil? Never. The devil is never going to encourage. The devil is only going to propagate accusation, judgment, fear, worry, doubt. When will you stop listening to that rascal? Becky said today. Thank you. Sharon says it took me a week to lose 1.5 pounds. I did a WOW challenge and fast 16 hours. I am 13 pounds from goal. That's why. But now it looks better than ever when it comes off of your body. You're welcome, Sherry. Anybody else before we go today? You got this, Blanca. You got it. Is it Blanca or Blanca? Is it like with Panda? Or you may have told me before. So Blanca, did I say it right? All right. I got it right. Any other questions? Any question about the food parts, anything you're struggling with? We don't want you to struggle. That's why we do these every day, multiple times a day. Bye-bye, Kelly. Awesome. Quick announcement. I've got not bad news, but news that none of us want to hear. If you're in the Kennesaw area, go by and see Sherry and Kim and Kristen. This is the last week that center will be open. So if you get a chance and you're in the Kennesaw area, go by and give those girls a hug. They love y'all so much. We are officially closing the Kennesaw Center. It's the last week of the Shibby Shop in Kennesaw. So it's a mutual decision. Sherry Ditto's done a tremendous job. We did not desire to close it simply because of her and Kim and Kristen. Sherry has been doing the shipping and receiving and does a tremendous job with it, but she has to move on to some other things. And we don't want to go through having to train somebody. So we're just going to move it all here. And Sasha and I are going to handle it ourselves. And so therefore we're closing the center, but Sherry Ditto is not replaceable. You can't replace her. So it will be closing. Yep, it's closing, Jennifer. And, our centers and our e-store, they have to have support to stay open. And I think as much as y'all love Sherry, Sherry would tell you, as much as she loves you, there's just very little support for that center. Brick and mortar, as much as we want those centers, we don't really miss them until they're gone. We don't. And that's no dig at anybody. We're living busier lives than ever. And that's one reason she's moving on. She's got a busy family life. We begged her to stay probably for way too long. And she's been gracious to keep doing it, been a trooper, even though she needed to prioritize her family. And we will still do online. Sasha and I are moving, shipping and receiving to Florida into the new center here. And we will be handling it from here. We'll need some grace for a few days. The products will be headed this way late Friday, and then we'll try to be back up and running without any interruption in services. Sasha and I will work through the weekend to make sure that we can keep shipping going. So y'all pray for us, pray for Sherry. We're really going to miss those girls. They'll be open 4 to 7:30 to 4:30 to 4:30 p.m. to 7:30 today and tomorrow. So go see them. Yes, you'll still be able to order in Sarah. In fact, we hope you do, because if y'all don't, we don't have any way to keep Shibboleth going at the level you're used to. As I keep telling people who say, are y'all going out of business? I'm not going to stop doing what I do. If this was a money-making business for me, then, I wouldn't say that. This is in my heart. This is a ministry first and foremost. I hope to do this until the day God calls me home. But we feel like we've offered tremendous value for what people pay. And we want to keep offering that value. But without your support, we can't. So please support us. Amazon doesn't need your support. We do. So yeah, everything will still be going on. In fact, we're hoping to see some of y'all at some weekend seminars when you need a long weekend vacation in Florida. Thank you, Denise. Thank you. Chris, it shouldn't be. I don't want to promise anything. I don't know what we're going to get into. I just don't know what we're going to get into. So Chris is asking, will my order be delayed? I don't know what we're going to get into. So Sherry does a good job of keeping it up. And then we've got a crew that's going to be bringing the product from Kennesaw to Florida Friday night. And we hope to be back up and running the next day. So that's our heart's desire, but only God knows, right? Only God knows. There's many a slip between a cup and a lip. I don't want to disappoint anyone here. We're going to do everything that we can, and we continue to reduce our staff. We need y'all. We need y'all more than you know. Sherry said, if you order it today, I'll have it shipped today. Any other questions before we go? Whereabouts will the Florida seminars be? They'll be St. Augustine, Florida. St. Augustine, about 6 hours from Kennesaw. We'd love to see y'all. It's been a long time since I was in a weight loss center. I said I would never do another one. Boy, don't ever say never. I'm actually excited. I haven't been in person because of anxiety and things like that I've now overcome. I haven't been in person with people teaching in a long time, except for a few speaking engagements. So it'll be very exciting to hug necks again and teach people in person. Anybody else? You beautiful people. Any other questions? Do not leave here, as so many do. You'll send me an email, say, I'm confused. Why didn't you ask that in class? Yes, I will. As promised, I will be updating everybody on the new menu of services as we start an entirely different company. Sasha's going to continue to own Shibboleth. It will continue to be a low barrier to entry group program. We will continue to try to better it, but it has had substantial losses. I am beginning a for-profit company rather than go to work somewhere. I'm going to open up a for-profit company and go back to Thrive Weight Loss. We've got clearance to do that now after many years. And maybe God is restoring what the devil took from me. I'll be opening up a for-profit that's small group, very small group, very personal, accountability, and also one-on-one coaching. So I'm kind of going into kind of a private practice arena with Thrive, and I'll own it. Sasha will own Shibboleth. And then we've got the Mount Shibboleth Online Church, which is a not-for-profit, so that I can keep scratching that itch, that ministry itch. We will have the menu of services documented sometimes this week, and then y'all can start looking at that, figuring out where you feel like you fall. We're not taking anything away from anybody. Sherry started with me in Thrive Rome. That was a long, long time, many moons ago. Lots changed since then. Anybody else? Thrive, what I'm doing, Thrive used to be a 7-week program. Thrive, this time I feel inspired to offer a real life change. It's a whole food program. There's a few things about it that I'm going to be doing different. Number one, it's going to be a 40-day program. We're going to look for each individual. For the individual, we're going to look at the faith component, the nutrition component that's personalized to the person, the exercise component, and the supplementation component. And over 40 days, we're going to co-author your perfect program that you would be able to do because you wrote it. You wrote it with my help and my oversight. And I'm going to hold you accountable for 40 days, whole food eating program. We're going to stay away from synthetics. We will pick out void replacements that at the end of the 40 days, you'll have that you can use to fill your voids, but you will have developed a clean eating program for yourself with all the bells and whistles. So it's going to be pretty good. It's going to be life-changing for those who invest in themselves. Folks are asking for the topic for the partner class. I've been so busy, I haven't decided. If you've got something you want me to do, let me know, and then I won't have to look for a topic. Hey, Lisa. If it's something we hadn't already covered, we've already covered a ton of ground. I was probably going to do something on the Mediterranean diet, is what I was kind of messing around with in my mind. But if you've got something you'd like me to do, let me know, partners. April, I don't know that endomorph, ectomorph, mesomorph is a total class. We did do that. There's already a class there where we mentioned that. It was in our bodybuilding class. So I'll refer you back to that. Very, very good class. But it's hard to come up with an hour worth of material on the shapes of the human body. So in short, it applies to, especially if you're bodybuilding, Ectomorph is small bone, high metabolism. Mesomorph is the perfect body type in that it's medium muscle mass, very medium-sized bones, and good moderate metabolism. And then an endomorph, much more muscle mass, much larger bone density, but very slow metabolism. Most everybody here is a mesomorph or ectomorph. Now you look in the mirror and you go, no, I'm an endomorph. Has nothing to do with how much fat you're carrying. It has to do with your bone density, the size of your structure. I was always told I was an endomorph, and no, I'm a classic mesomorph. Charles is probably somewhere between a mesomorph and endomorph. You'd probably be shocked. Charles, you don't strike me that your bones are your big bone. So you're probably a mesomorph. Margot wants a tour of the website. I'll consider that. There's a lot of benefits on the website for sure. What happened to the oh yeah bars that we used to carry? They quit making those. They stopped making those because of all of the complaints about the artificial sweeteners in them. I hate that. I think that's ridiculous. Artificial sweeteners in an oh yeah bar is much better for you than sugar in a Baby Ruth. But they quit making them. Yeah, they quit. They took them off the market. Blanca, you're probably a mesomorph or ectomorph. But it doesn't really have that much application other than it's helpful to know. It's helpful to know from a metabolic standpoint that you might need to be in more of a calorie deficit than someone else. If you're an endomorph, you might need to be in more of a calorie deficit. But it doesn't have that much bearing. Just like the blood type diet, it matters about that much, eating right for your blood type. They've done study after study on this stuff. Let me tell y'all what it is. It's marketing. It's sales and marketing. Anything to make you feel, ooh, this one will work for me because I'm special. Now, it has a placebo effect. If you believe, look, let's do this. Think about this. Y'all all would agree that Shibboleth, a perfect day, is better than eating ice cream all day, right? Okay. But if you were doing Shibboleth and doing it right, but yet you didn't believe it was working for you. Let's say somebody convinced you that food combining worked against you because you had Alzheimer's running in your family or whatever. Over here, you were doing the ice cream diet. And it's 1,000 calories a day of ice cream. And Dr. Oz come on and said, if you eat Moose Tracks ice cream, they found a special type of calcium in Moose Tracks ice cream that helps you lose weight. And if you believe that, which program are you going to do better on? The one you'll keep doing. So, the truth is this. The truth is this. Take placebo out of it. Take individuals out of it. Calorie deficit. Insulin control. In the Bible where it says the fruit of the Spirit are love, joy, peace, patience, gentleness, goodness, meekness, temperance, and faith, and against such there is no law. Same thing here. The reason that I have been accepted in most of the medical community is because I don't argue with them. You can't argue with what I'm saying. It's inarguable by a reasonable person. Calorie deficit, insulin control, adequate protein. And then what we did was come up with a simplified approach to accomplish those things daily. And that works for everyone on the planet Earth. There's no one that doesn't work for. Going back to the beginning of class with the Perfect Day shirts, do we order those in store? You do. It's in the apparel button. So once you have enough perfect days, an entire month of perfect days, when you go to the apparel store, you'll see which ones are unlocked for you. Like in this account, this one's locked, this one's locked, it's locked. So like today, if you had just finished up an entire month of perfect Wednesday, steady as a clock, then that one unlocks and you get your badge and then you can order the shirt. Only people wearing those are people that earned them. Anybody else? We try to make Shibboleth fun. We try to always incorporate behavior modification aspects to our program. With Thrive, will your participation in Shibboleth reduce or end? Will you continue with these meetings and partner videos? So yes, I won't be spending as much time because I won't be able to, but I will still spend more time than most people do on the planet Earth helping my Shibboleth members. So Thrive, don't get it wrong. Here's what Thrive looks like. See this new page here? Does everybody see this? So Shibboleth, when you purchase Shibboleth at a very low cost, you get Shibboleth Fast Track, Shibboleth Journey, and the Tiger's Eye. Okay, in May, you'll finally start seeing the video drills in these other two levels so that you can earn your Journey badge, your Tiger's Eye badge. You'll see Reloaded here, like in May. You'll see Reloaded. We've already started, but you'll see Reloaded. You'll see other courses. Then you'll see our premium course that is the Thrive course. Thrive is a course. Then when you click Thrive and you purchase Thrive, that will signal to us that you have purchased Thrive, and it lets me and whoever's assisting me know that you've decided to join the premium program. And then we start with a meeting and we come up with what your goals should be. We come up with what your macros should be. We come up with an exercise routine. We come up with the perfect meal plan for you. And then your journey begins over 40 days. You'll have a dashboard that opens up here while you're doing Thrive, where all your materials are found until that course ends. And that's how pretty much how Thrive will begin. It's the most comprehensive weight loss, wellness, and transformation program on the planet Earth. That's what it is. If you went to a university to pay for it, you would pay $5,000 to $10,000 for it. No joke, sincerely. And that wouldn't include your professor's daily accountability. So just saying, we're still a ministry, but it's the program that everybody's asked for that I've never wanted to do because I didn't want to charge. Do partners need to pay for Thrive? Yes, partners will also have to pay for Thrive. It is a huge commitment for the Thriver and for me. Huge commitment, big responsibility. So yes, they'll have to pay, but they'll get a discount. Partners will get a discount on all new courses. And by the way, I know that y'all know this in your heart. We're going to keep having the low barrier to entry program. Anyone can do that. But when you've tried everything else, one of the things that's lacking in Shibboleth is there's no skin in the game. I know that y'all agree with that in your heart. So part of change is having some skin in the game. It needs to sting a little bit if you quit. Right now, there's no sting. How many of you know I'm telling the truth? You're not lifting me up. It's just the truth. I'm not trying to get you to lift me. It's just the truth. I know it's the truth. You start a challenge, and if life gets in the way a little bit, and I'm not calling you on the phone asking you where you at, you're gonna say, I'll try again in a month or two. So we never get any momentum. With Thrive, I'm gonna give you my best, and if you quit, well, it hurts. Because if you try to do it again, you don't even need to start it unless you're committed to it. Thank y'all. Very sweet of you. Sweet comments. I just want you to know a big part of it is people having skin in the game. It's important. We don't value things we don't pay for. Anybody else? I am not going anywhere, Lee. I'm going to be right here still doing what I do as long as Sasha will let me. Better hope she stays in love with me because she owns Shibboleth. I don't own it. Nobody believes that. They actually kid us about it. I don't own it. Sasha does. As long as she'll keep me on, she don't pay me. She don't pay me. But as long as she'll keep me on board, I'm here. I'm going to keep helping. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, everybody. Would Thrive be appropriate for those in maintenance? I think Thrive is appropriate for anybody because it's a very extensive, comprehensive education. And it's probably, even though the weight loss will be significant, it's probably more of a wellness program than Shibboleth because it's focused on clean eating, clean foods. One of the reasons I'm developing Thrive is for the doctors that have requested for years that we develop a clean eating program. And for companies who desire that, I'm getting back in that market. I haven't been in that market in years. So Thrive is going to be, really above anyone's reproach that's reasonable. Bye, Janice. Yeah, I know. Ellen says I bought lifetime membership for 2 loved ones struggling with weight. They have not touched it. That's usually what happens. But it'll be there for them when they're ready. You'll just need to remind them it's there. We've seen that happen. We've seen people sit on their membership for 2 or 3 years and then show up and go, wow, I wish I'd started sooner. So maybe God will work on that and they'll get started. All right. All hearts and minds clear. I'll see you tonight. We've got 2 sessions tonight. We've got Reloaded, just a quick huddle up. And then the last week of Groove, we'll have a quick huddle up. And I guess we'll see you then. I'm going to get to work.